Hi, I'm sitting here with Patrick Monaco-Sorge. He's the CEO and the co-founder of PROMANDATE. This is a company that's been incubated by Inspire Ventures. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second with Patrick. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for sitting down and talking to us
Thank you very much for having me.
It's my pleasure. So you've been at Inspire now, or in some way, shape, or form, for how long?
I joined Inspire about a year ago.
Okay, about a year ago. And your original role was not doing this, right? Can you talk a little bit about what that was?
So the original role was I was responsible for the Inspire Venture Labs, so building the startup in-house.
So you were responsible for the whole labs business?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And so we started working on a few concepts, a few verticals, and the one related to services came up pretty obviously. And we focused on two different axes, one that was professional services and one that was consumer services.
I see.
And so PROMANDATE is, of course, the result of our vertical on professional services.
So how does that work? Let's say I need, I don't know, a lawyer or something. Like, what type of professional services does it work for?
So for the moment, we cover 4 verticals on PROMANDATE. We have legal, tax, accounting, IT, web, and design.
Good guess. Okay.
So the way that it works, we try to make it extremely easy for you. You go you click legal part. Let's say you want a notary service. A questionnaire opens you with 3 or 4 questions max. We make it easy so you don't have to write. You just have to type the service that you want. And then it goes all the detail about your preferences, your budget, when do you need it, where do you need it, which language.
Right.
You're done. It takes 1 minute. And then it gets sent to all our supplier pool, which is segmented based on the notary service that we need.
Got it.
And every professional that is entrusted by helping you then gets back to you.
So do you have a sales force that goes out and kind of acquires service providers?
Yeah.
And what's it like when you go to a service provider and say, we're running this thing called PROMANDATE, we think we can increase your business by X% if you sign up with us, then I presume you're taking some kind of fee from them. So it's free for the user, I'm guessing, and then you take some kind of fee from them. It's a really interesting business model.
It is. So just to divide it into 2, when we go and see the professionals, first of all, we want to talk with them and position ourselves as a partner. These people are looking for a customer all the time.
Right.
And any good business entrepreneur people wants to grow its business with more leads. So it's kind of easy catch for us. We've had a lot of 90% of professionals that we went to see were interested. And joined, and those who were not were still a bit reluctant about the online, but this is going to change.
What was their problem with the online business?
Oh, it's just that.
Is it just a trust factor?
Yeah, it's a lot of trust factor, and some people. We're talking about very old tax accounting law firm.
Fair enough.
That have absolutely no. That unfortunately are still not very used about the online and the fact that a lot of things are not being made online.
Right, they wouldn't even know because they probably don't even have connected computers in their office.
Well, they want to, we had a lot of early adopters, people that just tested it directly, and others that want to see just launch it, let's see how it's going, and then come back to see me, which is what we're doing, and then they join us. So it's more the step of, being that cookie monster, that early adopter that just takes the product and tests it out.
Right.
For web designers and IT people, it was very easy.
Simple, right? Because they know, and they just want to
They have a freelancer
They already know what their CPA is anyway, and if they can get the CPA through you, and either pay the same thing or less, they're happy to do that.
Yeah, exactly. For lawyers, you know how lawyers are. I'm a lawyer myself, so
so you're a lawyer and an MBA?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
I should leave now. I'm not even qualified to sit here and talk to you.
No problem. But one thing important with respect to the professional is the curation process they go through.
For sure.
There's a lot of service marketplace, not really B2B as we do, but there's a lot of service marketplace within which you get a lot of professionals. They're not always curated. There's not always a good correspondence between the demand and the supply, and that's something that we try to change.
So if I hire somebody using PROMANDATE, do I see service ratings as well?
Yes.
Is there that social aspect to it?
So if you hire a professional on PROMANDATE, you know that person went through a curation process. When I say curation, is that we check their background. So let's say there's lawyers come on a platform as a supplier. We request their ID, we request a diploma, we request 2 references from previous customers, and sometimes some employment certification. So the curation process is quite important.
It has to be, right?
Yeah,
and this is actually the power of the internet at work. Yeah. Right, because otherwise I just go into your office and I talk to you and I just kind of have to believe what's up on the wall in your office.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get you references on my own, but it's so much harder. This gives it scale that you couldn't get otherwise.
Yeah.
When we talk about scale, right now the business is operating in Thailand?
In Thailand, yeah.
What's the goal?
So the goal for the moment is of course we launched 8 weeks ago.
8 weeks ago.
So it's a very, we've learned so much, and there's already a lot of things that we see a lot of potential in B2B business. We saw that initially our target was mainly entrepreneurs, startups, and young SMEs, but we're actually seeing that like big corporate also have a lot of outsourcing needs.
So they come to you.
Yeah. Of course, corporate takes a bit longer to close the deal and so on. But we really see that there's still this emptiness, this gap between the supplier. There's a lot of professionals in Thailand, of course, these areas, and there's a lot of SMEs, and we're talking about a country with 2 million SMEs,
Yeah.
But there's just the connection is not happening, and we try to fill that gap. So in terms of scaling up, clearly for the moment we are covering 4 verticals. We will be looking to add other verticals such as digital marketing, HR services, or even personal business improvement, like trainings, like interview trainings, like business English trainings, anything related to public presentation and so on. There's a lot of coaches that do that, and actually a lot of people that start to ask us.
The executive coaches do this all the time, and they have no way to get, well, they have ways to do it, but there are better ways to get clients, right?
Yeah. Totally. Even here at ECHELON, a few people told me, hey, I'm providing training for business English to Thai people. Do you have these verticals? Not yet, but if you have a lot of supply and there's a lot of demand, I will integrate it.
Why not, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. At the end, we want to be like a tool that is a partner for businesses, and that's the goal that we're aiming at.
So 2 more things. Do you expand to other countries, first of all? And second of all, who's competing with you, if anybody?
Yeah. So, I mean, with respect to countries, we of course want to focus a lot on Thailand in the sense that it's a business on which you want to build a long relationship.
For sure.
In terms of other countries that we're interested, we're of course looking at Vietnam. Of course, we're looking at Indonesia.
Great.
Within which there's also a lot of growing business. In terms of our competitor, well, legal tax accounting, that sort of sphere of PROMANDATE, is still not really covered in the region.
No, I know, and I've talked to people about building this type of platform, but
there you go.
You're already doing it.
Yeah, we can still talk.
Yeah, exactly.
And then IT as well, web and design, of course, is super covered. There's a lot of sites that are international. You have the 99 Design, you have the Fivers, even freelance does that. But it's a lot of covered in the digital design, web design, and so on. And in Thailand as well, you have Thai SEO board, you have Freelancer Bay. There's a lot of stuff that do that, no problem at all. At the end, our customer is different and our quality is different.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you a question, but it's actually irrelevant because you're not going to be in the C2B business.
No.
You're just getting businesses to connect either to other businesses and to get their services. Yeah.
So and based on this, for instance, that a lot of people come to me and they say, so how do you choose your freelancers? And I'm saying, well, it's not a freelancer.
No, that's the point, though, right?
Exactly.
It's an existing business.
It's a firm. It's a law firm. They're there and they're looking for customers. It's a digital agency. It's an IT shop that is looking to get more customers.
In a way, it's no different than what Paul McTaggart's doing over Medical Departures. He connects to doctors.
Yep.
And builds the platform.
Yep.
And then he just goes back to doctors get patients.
Yep.
Same thing. It's an existing business. It's not like a new doctor or a freelancing doctor.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
We of course, in what is web and design, we have a lot of freelancers.
For sure, but that's not the point, right?
That's not the point. It's not a freelancer. At the end, in our supply pool, there's more established business than freelancers, and the reason for that is that a lot of business, they want to deal with real businesses. So if for instance you are looking for a freelancer to do your website at personal title, it's okay. But if you with your business want to be dealing with a web designer, a lot of corporates, for instance, have requirement that there needs to be a minimal amount of registration. They need to be in business for 2 years.
Right. They want to deal with businesses.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with freelancers.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Look, this is really great. I would ask you if you'd agree later to come back and do maybe like a full form on this, because I think there's a lot more that we could discuss on this, if that's okay. Absolutely. We really want to thank you for sitting down.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, and I learned something, which is really good. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.